Yes.
If we're graduating, what do we do? Like, for the classes?
Yes, there's a couple options for you. You can, number one, delay graduation if you would like. Or number two, you can apply as a non-degree seeking transient student, which means you still get to graduate and everything, but you also get to register for the class and stuff like that.
It's the same process for people from Shelton, how they sign up for marching.
You're a special student.
Yes, it's called special student, and non-degree seeking transient bomb.
And your advisor would know how to talk you through that.
Yeah, very common.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I forgot to mention before, we are providing transportation from Moody to Atlanta to the airport. You should know that by now. And we've asked you, if you're not planning to ride that bus, to let us know. Seller, if you have, but as a matter of fact, so many people have, we may be able to get by with one less bus, which is a good thing. So we're going to ask you tonight to do that one more time. If you're on flight A, which is the Delta flight, the only Delta flight, who should they see? Come and see Adam when we finish and make sure he has your name if you're not planning to ride the bus. Now this is an all or nothing kind of thing. You can't not ride it here over to the airport and ride it home when we get back. It's all or nothing, all right? Because we're going to plan for the people that ride it from here to there. If you're on the first Air France flight, which is flight B, you should see Josh and make sure he knows that you're not riding the bus. If you're on flight C, which is the last Air France flight, you should see Mike and tell him if you're not riding the bus. So if we don't have your name here, we're assuming you're riding the bus both ways. Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay if we ride it to Atlanta, but if we meet somebody or take a plane, like back home or something?
That would be fine. My fear is you don't ride it over there and then want to ride back and we don't have room for it. So, Hunter.
Do we have to sign up for the class?
Yes.
Okay.
And they need to
Yeah, even if you told Keith you're not going to be riding the bus, this is the final definitive list will be made tonight. So all three of you guys remind me when they finish to tell everybody to do that, and we'll show you where these guys are so we don't get involved.
There will be a boxing glove set up outside the main office.
And we can have some on the 28th at that rehearsal. We have a box. You will need gloves, so we'll have extras at the band office, and we'll have them at the rehearsal on the 28th. You'll need the full uniform for the parade. If you need uniform parts, Danielle Drews is the new uniform guru. I guess, what's the feminine guru? I don't think there is there? It's just guru. She's the new guru. So contact Danielle if you need any uniform part. Make sure it's clean, right? Make sure it's nice and clean. Don't pick it up the night before we leave out of the bottom of your closet. Okay? All right, we'll ask questions when they're done. These guys are from the Capstone International Program. It's been wonderful in helping us manage this trip. So please give them your attention for the next few minutes, and they'll go through some very important information.
Just as an introduction, my name is Brittany McMillan, and I'm a study abroad advisor at Capstone International. Basically, what we do is help other students find programs, but this one, of course, you guys are going as a group, so you may not have seen us before because we are helping other students find programs. So if you have the time of your life in Italy and you want to go again, then you can come back and see us, and we can help you go to Italy again or go somewhere else. With me is my colleague, Susan Goring. She basically does the same thing I do, helping students go abroad. So what we're going to go over today are just some of the things that we basically tell all of our students who study abroad. We're going to give you travel tips about traveling internationally. I know you guys travel a good bit, but it is a little different traveling internationally. We're going to kind of tell you those things that may be a little different than what you're used to. We're going to give you some safety and security kind of information, as well as some resources that you can have before and while you're traveling. We'll try to make this as quick as possible to get you guys out of here at a good time. Did everybody get a packet, bunch of information? Everybody should have gotten the handbook. This is a nice little guide that we put together for everything study abroad. Some of it may not apply to you when it comes to maybe registering for courses or different things like that. But it's a good resource to have. It's a nice handy size. You can stick it in your carry-on, take it with you, read it while you're on the plane. Okay, here. Also, an insurance packet. Make sure you got one of these. This is your insurance card. Susan will tell you about it in just a minute. But make sure you got it. And then this brightly colored packet of information. Did everybody get one of those? Did everybody get signed in? Very important that we get your name. We're going to have gotten credit for being here tonight. So we can check that off on your application. And so that your directors know that you're here as well. So if you didn't get your name, make sure that we do get that so we can check that off. And then you should see on your study abroad application online within the next week or so, that box checked off on pre-departure session attendance. And if it's not within probably by next Monday, if you were here, let us know so that we can make sure we get that checked off for everybody. When we get done, everybody will get a t-shirt, but we'll wait for that till the end. So I'm going to let Susan take over from here.
Like Brittany said, everybody should have gotten one of these packets. Really, a lot of it is just helpful information. There's emergency contacts, something you might want to look at, safety and security issues while abroad, cultural adjustment. That's not really something that you necessarily have to worry about, although you will experience some areas of that. And also health while abroad, health on your trip. So I encourage you to read these in your spare time to prepare yourself if you go to Italy. Passport and visa, or you don't need a visa obviously, but the faculty directors already talked to you about passports. You need one. Make sure you have one, and that you give a copy to us, upload it on your study abroad application, and also to your faculty directors. One thing we really encourage you guys to do before you leave is to know your destination. Like I said, I know you're not going to be there for a long period of time, but you are going to be immersing yourself in another culture. So we encourage you to take some little study measures in order to help acquaint yourself. One thing that we really think is a good idea for you to do is check out travel.state.gov. That's the State Department's website for international travel. You can look at information about Italy. They also post things about advisories. I doubt Italy's going to be having a travel warning, but it also posts information about the country that is specific, and that would be helpful for you just to get a better feel for where you're going. Learn some standard phrases. I know, like I said, you're not going to be here for a long time, but it's a little bit goes a long way in another culture if you're willing to just try a little bit and greet them with a buongiorno or something like that. So, also look at weather patterns, weather while you're going to be there. I mean, just remember that summer here is not the same as summer there. So look and see what the weather's going to be like in Trinidad and the other places you're going to be. It could be quite a bit colder, it could be quite a bit warmer, although I doubt anything's warmer than Tuscaloosa in the summertime. But it will be, summertime there, but different weather patterns. Also see if it's going to be rainy season, things like that. Also look at transportation and traffic. Look at the cities you're going to be in. I know you guys are going to be in Rome, so it's a very big, huge, busy city. You guys are probably using some public transportation while you're there, while you're seeing the sights. So I encourage you now to look at it. Because when you get there and you can't read those signs in Italian, it's going to be really overwhelming for you. So go ahead and look at the public transportation system, taxis, all that kind of stuff before you go, just to get a better idea so you can better utilize your time while you're abroad. Packing. If you turn to page 47 of your handbook, there's a packing guide in there. I'm not going to go over the packing guide for you. You can do that yourself when you're packing, hopefully not last minute. One thing I did want to mention is that we do want you guys to encourage you to bring a converter again. Something that you can plug your hair dryer, curling iron, guys, razor, whatever you use that you plug in, because it will not work in Italy, what you use here. You'll need an adapter for that. So please make sure that you have one, or if you want to share one, the ones that you guys are going to be in a room together, just make sure that you have that if you want to do your hair or anything like that before a concert. Also, you're going to want to look at how large your luggage is. You're going to want to look at the TSA regulations, and you're going to look at the packing weight for your suitcases. A general rule is if you can take it outside and take it around the block comfortably, then you've packed fine. If you can't, then you're going to be in trouble because you don't really know what the situation is going to be like in terms of ramps, in terms of elevators. You may be having to haul some of that upstairs. So just be cautious about that and try not to overpack. You're not there for very long, so you can get by on less stuff. Also, when you're flying, think about the 311 rule. For those of you who have not been on an airplane, especially in the last 10 years, really, it's been that long. But the 311 rule is one quart-sized bag, and all the liquid items in there have to be 3 ounces or less. They will throw them away if you don't have them at that 3-ounce rule. So if you have face cream that you really like, make sure that it's not above 3 ounces because they'll throw it away and hurt your feelings.
Or you can put it in your checked luggage.
Or you can check it if you're planning on doing that. But this is just your carry-on. Okay, so we're going to talk about health a little bit before I get to the insurance. I know you're not going to be there very long, but just take into account your mental and physical health while you're there. You're going to be really excited. You're probably going to stay up really late. Try to get enough sleep before your concerts. Give yourself enough sleep and hydrate yourself when you get there because Italy is not the same time zone. It's 7 hours difference, so you're going to be 7 hours ahead when you get there, so it's totally going to throw you off. So please take into account the time difference, and you will be dehydrated after being on a plane that long, so make sure that you hydrate really well and get a lot of sleep right when you get off the plane. That first night, I use melatonin, something a natural remedy or something like that to help you sleep, just whatever works for you. But definitely think about that so you're not miserable for those 10 or 11 days that you're going to be there. Also, prescription medications. If you have prescription medications, make sure that you have them in their bottle with your name and the doctor and everything. It's their official medicine bottle. That's going to be really important when you're going through customs or anything like that. You also are going to want to check and make sure your prescription medication is not illegal in Italy. In some situations, medicine that is not illegal here in America is illegal in other countries. So you might want to check on that. I'm pretty sure the State Department has things like that. You can also just Google it, but just check and make sure if you use a prescription medication that you think may be illegal, just double check. Make sure that it's So another packet that you guys would have gotten is this packet right here. This is your insurance packet. All of you are enrolled in our CISI National Insurance Program. It's required for all students going abroad. You will be covered for the whole time that you're there. So if anything were to happen, it tells you right here on the front of that main page right there what's covered. Tells you what amount that's also covered. Your parents will probably want to see this, so share this with them so they can feel good about your safety and that you're going to be insured well. Also right here is your insurance card. You're going to want to keep this with you at all times. Put this in your wallet, as well as with another packet that I gave you, there's an emergency contact card. It's red. You're going to want to put that in your wallet too. Make sure that you have contact information of someone that you're with, also your parents or your faculty director, people that are close to you, especially that if you were injured in Italy, that someone can get a hold of you quickly. If the police or ambulance picks you up, you just want to make sure that you have stuff written visibly in your wallet for them to look at and find the right people to come and get you for. But yeah, this insurance card right here, we're going to need this. It has your policy number on it. It's that number, the GLG 913, blah, 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 blah. That's the policy number that all of our students have who go abroad. So that's the policy number that you will use if you need to file a claim. Now, if something happens while you're abroad, you're sick, or it's an injury, hopefully not, if something like that does happen, there is a process. You will file a claim like you would with any other insurance company. We ask you that once that's just been decided that you're going to file a claim, either you personally file that claim or you let our office know and we will file that claim on your behalf. We don't want 2 claims happening at one time. The process can work slower if you do that. So if something does happen, just remember that you have this claim form. If you lose this form, we have them at our office. Come and see us. But if a claim needs to be filed while you're abroad, talk to your faculty director. They can be in communication with us, and we can make sure that claim gets filed.